What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. The hopes of this video is to just make it completely raw. I wanted to try a different style for today. In this video, I'm going to be going over why 10k per month isn't enough. And I don't say that from an opinion-based point of view. It's more like I know it's not enough. Like, I've got friends in the industry, and as you can see, most people online will tell you that 10k per month is not enough. Hence why they always trying to achieve the next goal, whether it's 20k, 30k, 50k, 100k per month, right? Otherwise, everyone would be satisfied at 10k per month, and no one would really be stressing about trying to get to a million and stuff like that. Now, obviously, there are people who are just ambitious, right? And they want to get to billionaire status, or they just want to get the most out of the amount of time they put in. Similar to me, like, I'd rather just not have a limit as to how much I want to make. I just want to do as much as I can possibly do. But that's not the point. The point of this video is I want to show you why, if you haven't yet made 10k per month, why it's not going to be enough even when you get there. Point number one is you need to realize if you're at 10k per month, although you've taken, let's say, 5 steps or 10 steps or 20 steps to get there, you're literally 1 or 2 steps away from zero. And what I mean by zero, I mean you're 1 to 2 steps away from no longer being at 10k per month, right? You need to understand whether it's a sort of retainer model, or maybe it's, and by retainer I mean like you've got clients that are paying you 2k every month and you've got 5 clients on board. All it takes is for 2 clients to next month say, oh, I'm no longer on board, for you to now be back down at 6k per month, right? That's almost half of your income gone, right? And it's only 4k off of your monthly income. That's it. And that's almost half. Like it's crazy to think about it that way. But not only that, it might be the fact that the way maybe you were getting consistent clients every single month, right? Maybe it wasn't retainer. Maybe you've got a product-based business and you need to sell 200 units every single month for you to make 10k. What if next month you only make 150 sales, or you only make 110 sales, or the product that you're planning to sell can no longer be sold, or whatever the reason may be, right? The point is you're not safe at just being at 10k per month, especially with the cost of living in countries like UK, America, UAE, which is a country, but Dubai, the city. Like, it's not cheap, right? You might pay like $3k for rent. If you're like me and you've got a wife, you might need to actually pay for your wife in terms of food, health, everything. And at the end of the day, expenses will come up to like 6, 7, or 8k per month. What's left for you? 2k, right? How much are you going to have to put aside for investments? How much are you going to have to put aside for holidays and for entertainment and so on and so forth? It's not really that much, right? Which then leads me on to the next point, which is now you've noticed that 10k per month isn't enough. You now want to make more money. Just about enough for you to actually live comfortably. And I mean like maybe 15 or 20k per month. But here comes the next problem. The next problem is that when you're at like 15, 20, or maybe even 25k per month, making that sort of money, what it takes to make that sort of money might not be enough for you to continue doing all on your own. I mean, it's a workload. I mean, there's no longer time freedom. You're having to put in 8-hour days, 10-hour days, right? Hopefully you see where I'm going, which is you now probably need to hire someone to help you do that, right? Might be a team member, might be 2 team members, 3 team members, however much team members it takes. Now, what does that mean? It means it's now going to eat into your profit margins. So you're no longer taking 20k all to yourself as you would have with 10k. You're now taking 17k. So again, you're not making as much as you wanted to make, which is 20k. So you're now going to want to make more money. You're now going to actually want to get to 20k. But in order for you to get 20k, you might need to hire another team member. Or you might need to have other systems in place that require more team members, whatever it may be. You're going to need to continually hire new people to get to new levels, or do new things, or pay for new things to get to new levels, right? We even see it with software, for example. So for example, like if you use an email campaign software, you'll know that the more contacts you've got on your list, the more you need to pay monthly, right? Meaning if you've got a business that relies on that, the more people you get in terms of, emails and so on and so forth, the more you'll need to pay. And that applies to a lot of other factors within a business as well. The more you want something, the more you need to pay, right? So expenses increase as you make more money. And that's business expenses. If you're someone who wants to invest into assets, or maybe you just like liabilities, maybe you want to buy a nicer car, maybe you want to live in a nicer apartment, your personal expenses are going to increase as well, right? Maybe you want to start a family. Maybe you want to have a kid or 2 or 3 or 4. Your personal expenses are going to increase. So again, that 20K per month that you were making is no longer 20K per month. It's 15, 12, 9, 6 after all expenses. It's not enough, right? And last point I want to make, and you can tell this is probably going to be a very, very short video, but hopefully I drew the point in. The last point I want to make is you're going to get comfortable. And what I mean by that is, let's say you achieve that amount that you want to make, whether it's 10K per month, whether it's 15 or 20K per month. Let's say you achieve that goal. There's going to come to a point where you've been making that amount consistently every single month, and you're now so used to it that new desires start to open up. New desires that need you to hit new milestones. So let's say you've been driving a C63S for 6 months, right? I'm using mine as an example. There'll be a point where the C63S no longer excites you as it used to excite you. It gets to a point where you see people, and I'm not saying compare yourself with other people, but you see someone with something that you would appreciate to have, right? You'd see someone with something that you would want to have. For example, me, I really want a Porsche 911 992 Turbo S, right? And that's more than double the price of a C63S, right? Meaning in order for me to get that, although I'm not saying I can't get it, I can get it, but in order for me to achieve that, I would need to set new milestones for me to justify purchasing it, for example, right? It might be the fact that I want a Porsche 918, right? That costs like 1.4 million, 2 million. That's a crazy milestone, right? But again, same reason as to why I wanted to buy a C63S, because it looks nice. We get comfortable as human beings in the things we get. We generally tend to be ungrateful after a certain period of time in things that we have, right? And the same feeling that I had before for a C63S is going to come in another form for something else, right? I used to be so excited to want to buy a C63S. I used to think it was the most beautiful car ever. Like, I did not want anything else apart from it, right? Now I've got it, and I've had it for 9 months, I think it was, or something like that. I no longer see it as I used to see it. I'm just comfortable, right? And now new desires have opened up where I now want to achieve better. I want to make more money in order for me to buy new things. Maybe a Porsche, maybe a Lambo, maybe an Audi R8, whatever it may be. That requires new doors to open up, right? Now, I'm not at 10K per month. I'm saying this from experience, right? I surpassed that long time ago. I've made 10K in a week. I've made 10K in a day. And I'll put some screenshots up here so you can actually see I'm not just talking out my ass. But the point still stands. Like, I know people within the space who thought 10K per month was the be-all and end-all. We're going to live like a dream life, but it really isn't the same as people make it out to be. It's a stepping stone, right? Same way, having a good career where you're earning like 4K per month, or let's say a 60, 70, 80K salary. Now, I'm presuming that some of you may be watching this video might actually be on that path, or maybe you're just entrepreneurs. But for the sake of this example, there's people who would earn like an 80K salary and think that would have been enough, but it turns out not to be. And then what do they want next? Another promotion, and another promotion after that, and another promotion after that. It's the same with business, right? Once you get to 5K per month, your expenses increase. I remember I was surviving off 3K per month. I cannot fathom the fact of living on 3K per month now. And I don't even know where the expenses increased. Of course, I got a nice apartment and so on and so forth. Yeah, cool. And I eat good, I eat healthy, I eat organic, everything organic, and I spend a lot on like my health and so on and so forth. But like the fact that I was living at one point on less than 3K per month is bizarre to me, right? It's ridiculous, it's crazy, but it happens. The more money you make, the more your expenses and cost of living increases. And although it does depend on where you live, if you're watching this and maybe you're in like South Africa, for example, I think South Africa is a lot cheaper than places like London and Miami and so on and so forth. But if you're someone that lives in New York, right, the cost of living there is ridiculous. It's crazy. For someone that lives in Switzerland, I just came back from a Switzerland trip. Switzerland is expensive. For someone who doesn't make enough money, wouldn't be able to live there, right? If someone on 10K per month living in Switzerland, you're not going to have a good life. I promise you that. Right? Whereas if you live in Thailand on 10K per month, you can live like a king, probably, right? You can live a great life in Thailand. But again, it's dependent on your expenses. But yeah, thought I'd make a quick video on why 10K per month isn't enough. And I even have it on like my caption, I think, on TikTok, not my caption, my bio, where 10K per month should just be a warm-up. And I mean it, right? your 10K per month goal shouldn't be the be all and end all. Just make it a warm up, right? To then prepare you for what comes next, 20, 30, 50, 100K per month. And there's also people who say like, the bigger your goal, the further you'll get. Because usually it's very hard to hit our end goal, right? We look at 100K per month as if like it's some crazy goal. But if we were to aim for $1 million a month, 100K per month doesn't seem like that much anymore, right? You'll probably get to 200, 300, 400, 500K per month easily if $1 million per month was your goal. But if 100K per month is your goal, it's going to be a lot harder for you to hit that end goal because it seems so big to you, right? Just bear that in mind. But anyway, if you like this video, like, subscribe, only if you find this sort of content relevant, because you're going to be telling the YouTube algorithm to show you content like this. Now, other than that, in the description, there is a link if you want to book in a call. By no means do you need to. I don't really care. I only want you to book it in if it actually applies to you. But yeah, other than that, there's also a Telegram community in the description where you can join the community. I'll accept you when I get the time to. And I drop just immense value in there. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Take care.